I think I'm ready for this, but yeah, it's just wow.
Maybe you can start by introducing yourself first, and we'll go from there.
My name is Xein Hossler, and I'm from Korea, South Korea. I'm a rapper. Simply, I'm a rapper from the South Korea. Now it's 2024, so like I started music from 2020. First, it was like I was just a rapper because I love rapping, and I'm doing music for myself. Yes, and for my what is it called, the people with me, like friends or families or whatever. Because I'm very introverted person, so I I'm speaking with my music all the time. So I'm not planning my music. I'm not planning. I'm just doing it because my music is like that.
I can't wait to talk more about this. Could you tell me more about your name first? Because I'm curious. Why did you choose this name? Is there meaning behind it?
Uh, just so many people ask me about why Xein Hossler, like why your name is Xein Hossler. And I want to ask to myself too, because there is no meaning inside the name of Xein Hossler. Because I just made so many names when I started music. So I wanted to make my name go for a long time, but it was very hard. Like I changed my name so frequently. Like it was a Leopard X and a boy and IAK and just like there were so many names that I made, but I I didn't give up on that, and I thought that if there was no meaning inside the name, then I'm not gonna change it because there's no meaning inside. So I wanted to make a name that has no meaning, and I have a fantasy inside my head about the culture of from America. So I wanted to make an American name, and I made it from the alphabets. Yes. So it's Jane Osler, like no meanings inside, but I think it's cool.
I like that. I think it's interesting to just go with random letters and decide, oh, okay, this is my name now. It doesn't mean anything. I'm happy about it. I wasn't sure how to pronounce it at first. I didn't know if it was Xein. That would, I think in Europe, it would be more like Xein. So I was letting you say it first so I didn't make any mistakes.
Oh my God. It's just like Korean people pronounce it like Jane. Yes. Like not X, it's like Jet. Is it right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but like I don't really care about my name's pronunciation. Like because there are so many cultures and there are so many the countries, languages, so I don't really care. But if you want to do it right, then it's Zane. Like, yeah, I think that's cool.
Yeah, you don't mind if people call you Xein like I do, like I just did.
Sign is cool too. Sign Hustler. I think that's cool too.
So something that I like about your music is that you clearly have your own style, in my opinion, and
Mm.
still I don't know what to expect, like from one song to the next. With any of your albums or even singles where there's two songs, they're completely different. Is this mixing of genres and this kind of ambiguity intentional? Do you do that on purpose?
And I think the mixing of genres is intentional like fully intentional because I'm I just I started from rapping from when I was a rapper because I'm good at rapping. I think I'm good at rapping, so I did rapping, but I just don't listen to only like rap. I listen to a lot of genres because like many people listen to lots of genres, and I think when I listen to the song that I like, that if I get the sparkle inside the song and if I get like something, the motivation inside it, then I have to do it. Like it's just how my brain and how my singing works. So I just made it, and if it is good in my mind, then I release it, and if that is bad, then I just right into the dumpster. Yay. So it's all intentional in mixing of genres, but about the ambiguity is not fully intentional. But I want to make my song intentional, but it's very hard. So I try, but not fully because just all the things that I had in my life, like all the inspiration and all the things that I had in my head is just makes me do the song. So I think it's about like 50% is from my life and 40% is from my intention and 10% from my crazy head. Yes. I just
Yeah,
I just love making music because it's fun. But if I'm making music and that's not fun, then I don't want to do it and I don't do it. So, yes, I think that what makes this thing works. Yes. And I'm very I'm very thankful that you said like I have my own style because that was my deepest it's the thing that I really wanted to have
mm,
in first when I was since like 2020. And first time when I was making music, it was very hard to make my own style because I thought that I don't need my music. I don't need a style in my music because I think if my music is good, then it's just good. But it's not like that because people love someone's song because that the artist have something that provoke listeners. It's not just about not all the things is from the song. It's just there are so many things that define their artist. And I think I started writing lyrics from when I was 17. So I tried it hard, tried to make my own voice, on tone, like on music making style, like lyric style. And 1 year and a half, I think that when I listened to my song and I felt like, oh, I think I have something in myself. Yay.
it's
I
relatable to
think,
know that you
yeah,
went through something like that too.
so hard
Yeah,
writing lyrics and making timelines or like singing like making my voice or things that I don't know. There's so many things in music, but I really try hard.
it's relatable. I understand.
Oh, I
But
don't know. Yeah.
yeah, I really do think that you have your own style, and it's rare for me to be able to recognize someone's music right away. Like if I just listen and I didn't know, I didn't see the title or your name, I think I would be able to recognize it. And that's pretty rare,
Oh,
in my opinion. I can't do that with everyone. So
I really believe in you. I'm really honorable about that. Thank you.
it makes me even happier that you agreed to do this because, yeah, I just
You're amazing.
discovered you randomly, and now I have like, I don't know, all of your songs on Spotify are in my like list. So, you know,
Oh my God. Thank you so much. And thank you
I
so much.
didn't need to make it embarrassing.
I'm so happy when someone says to me like, "Oh, I listened to your song," and just I think it's like like music makes the bridge between someone to someone. It's very cool. It's very amazing, and I love it.
Yeah, I agree. I feel the same way, and I just
Thank you.
I'm glad you make your music. No matter how you want to do it, just keep doing it. I'm happy to listen to it. So
Okay, okay, I will make just for you.
thank you.
We are shaking the world, the universe. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. From one side of the
Yes.
world to the other, we're just, we're
Rap
doing
and
it. We're
tell.
crushing it. We're doing great.
Yes. Rap and tell.
Yeah,
Authentic.
shout outs.
Oh, I wanna talk about something about
Hmm.
autotune
Yes.
because yes, just I I love I love using the autotune because autotune is very cool. Yes, but I I I don't know that people know about it, but I don't really use it in my song, my music, because autotune is like not changing my voice or whatever. It's just like cutting my sound that only the best part and only the good part and just showing that part. And I think that's so like there are so many things that is wonderful inside people's voice. Like you don't have to sing good or bad, like it just doesn't matter. It's just that you have to make people to listen to your voice, listen to your song or whatever you're speaking, because people have to get interested if you want to make them listen to yourself. So I think autotune is just tool, and I'm not very familiar with using that tool, so I don't really use it a lot. But I love it, and I just wanted to talk about that. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I really like I really like artists who use autotune quite heavily. Some artists,
Mm.
not all of them, but do you know Loopy, for example, or even
Yeah, yeah.
CK? They use it quite a lot, and I really like Loopy's music. I can't really
It's
explain
just
why I like his autotune, but I really like it. So
it's just so catchy, but not so repetitive,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
There are so many things that is happening inside his singing, but there is something that leads listeners. So I
Yeah,
think that's his style, and that's very cool. And there's autotune too.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
I
and
think
this, like you said, it's really a tool. It's not everything, but
yeah, yeah.
he's really using it to make his music what it is. So it's very interesting to me.
XCX, like those people. Even like Caroline Polachek is very cool too.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah. There are so many artists that is using the autotune to like progressing it, progressing the tune. And I think I'm not ready for that. Yes, I think I'm the person that is starting my career. Like this Ocean of Time is the album, the first full-length album. So I think I need more time or more motivation about that auto-tune.
And if you never get into it, that's fine too. You don't have to use every tool all the time.
But you know that when there were people that saying like my voice is similar with Troye Sivan and the
Oh.
singing voice, not my speaking voice.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to try it, but I don't have enough motivation, so I did this ocean of time. Yes.
Yeah, we talked about this mixing of genres, and you have kind of an established crew with whom you've been working with and you've worked with before. Can you tell me a little bit how it started and how do you work together? How do you go about this fluidity of genres in your music?
At first, like I was scouted from the crew. They listened to my song, and my song was very great, and they wanted to scout me, and I just felt like, oh, I think it would be great for myself and for my career. So I said yes, and I went into the crew. The crew's name is The Abandoned Child, and now I'm not the part of the crew. I left, but when I was in the crew, I at first time I was really hard at working together because I I'm just not familiar with working with like another people. I always worked alone, and now you will know that I'm really bad with communication. So I was very nervous at first time, but it was really great for myself. It was very great experiment experience. Yes.
Mhm.
Working together was really hard because if there's something that I don't want to do it or I want to do it, like there was the um opposite opposite opinion from the person, the coworkers. Yes. Haha. So all the time that I have to work more than doing just by myself because if I make one verse and the people in the crew didn't like about it, then I have to make another verse like that simply. So it was very hard. And it was not just about the verse. There was so many things like instrumental things like uh hmm instrumental sound and the verses and the mixing, mastering and the lyrics, like the song what is why is this song sounds like this and I think it was very fun and I think that's how to make music together. There were so many artists in the whole universe, but it's just about the scale, it's just simply communicating with someone. And communicating is all about the compromisation, I think. Concentrating to the other person and just working together means like communicating together. So,
With Pound
uh
and Pupils, we also talked a little bit how they work in collaboration, and they had very similar answers that they like to work with people who can be objective and
yeah,
who
yeah, yeah,
can,
yeah, yeah,
discuss these kind of things. Yeah.
yeah. It's really important, like, you know, like there are so many scenes like over scene, under scene. There are so many about the genre too. but you have to be objective. You don't have to like follow the people that were before you in that genre, in the music scene. You just don't have to follow it. You have to follow it, but you have to like always trying to have something good inside your style or anything about your music. You have to get that objective like mm, 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 objective improvement. Yes,
Yeah,
you have to get that. Then people will listen to you. Yes,
absolutely. Yeah. There's some guidelines, I guess. So there are
Mhm.
artists who have done the same genre as you before, and it's
Yeah,
great to have an ID from that, what you want to do, but then make it your own.
yes. It's really, 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 really important.
Yeah,
You have to it like you have to have yourself to uh you should have something in yourself to gain or earn something from other person. You have to have something inside of you. Like I'm speaking poorly in this podcast, but I'm here because I have something in myself. It's like that.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
and you are not speaking poorly. You're doing just we're doing great. Have you had like really bad collaboration experiences? Like someone just doesn't listen to feedback or
There are people want to do music, like want to rap in the university that I'm commuting, and most of them just don't do the work. They have so many ideas, but they don't actually do that. And once I had collaboration and I really heard on that album or song and just like goes away. I wrote my lyrics, I wrote anything and that just goes to the mist, like gone.
yeah, my best friend is a coverist, and this has
Oh.
happened so many times.
There's just so many like why I'm very sad. Why there are so many songs that is titled "Say Something"? Why don't you say something? There are so many songs. You have to say something.
Stop ghosting your coworkers, please.
Yes, stop ghosting. But I think ghosts are cool. I have a song titled "Ghost."
It's one of my
Angelo
favorite ones.
Lamore. I'm just bad at pronunciation. Like
Isn't it your title?
yes, but I'm not good at pronouncing that thing. Just
Why did
I
you
don't
pick a
know.
French title? I'm curious.
Because French pronunciation is so cool, but it's so hard. More
What's L'amour de deux?
l'amour de deux.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just like that. It's so cool. It's amazing. Like so cool. Like wow. But l'amour de deux. Haha. You get it now.
So Angelo and Afterlife, they are a little bit more indie, but then Popstar, there is hip hop elements. And
Yes.
I thought personally that you started more as an indie artist and that you moved on to hip hop and rap. But you said that you started with rap. So can you tell me more about that?
I always wanted to be the indie musician. Like I loved not love. I loved Dominic Fike, the artist. I love him because he also had a dream when he first started music. He wanted to be the indie musician. Like indie means like when the word he said, indie, that indie means genre, but also the scale of his music. And I think that is a cool mindset because you know that when you go to like Hollywood or like big records and like big scales of music, whatever, you can't just do whatever you want. There is lower in freedom because you have so many people that are working together with you. And I think he's talking like that intentionally because he want the freedom inside his music, but he went to sell and whatever his life. And I wanted to be an indie musician like that, like he said, Dominic said, but I think Afterlife gave me some motivation. I was starting music from rapping, but my debut EP was the Angelo L'Amor de Deux. Yeah, yes, that was my first EP, and that is not rapping, not in the genre of hip hop or rap. It's indie because I always wanted to do it, and I love that EP. But when I did Afterlife, I have to think about more because I think I wanted to do a music that is grunge style, but the music is like indie. But Afterlife was so different from the first EP, and just songs, or I guess it's from that Japanese J-pop genre, J-pop, city pop. At that time, I wanted to do that music, and I did it. And I think I first told you that I wanted to be an indie musician, and I think that is the thing that I can help with myself. I can do it because I have so many things that is going in my life and in my style too, because everybody's life is going so many directions at simultaneously. So I think that word, that indie musician, that word is getting me into the box, and I can't think freely about making music because the music genre is taking me, and I wanted to do something that was originally with me, and that was rapping, the hip hop style music. So I made the songs that is from that, the first time that I wanted to do rapping and just things like that. So I made Popstar album like that. When I released the Popstar, I said it was my debut album. Like first full-length album, but now it's not. But at that time, I wanted to define myself as rapper. I wanted to start my career as a rapper and later to make variations. But now I think I don't have an certainty about myself. So I wanted to define my music style to indie because it sounds really cool. It sounds like I have a freedom about myself. People thought the Popstar album was great when I released it, but I really hated it because I didn't have a certainty about myself. I didn't have style, that Xein Hossler music style. I thought like that.
Originally, I wanted to ask you what brought you to hip hop, but because you started there,
Uh-huh.
it just makes more sense to ask like how do you feel about this starting with a couple of indie EPs and singles, and
Mhm.
then Popstar was really more hip hop and
Okay, then.
rap
And
focused. Yeah,
I feel like I'm an indie musician. Oh my god, I'm so happy.
with your own style, which is really good.
I just want freedom. Yes, my answer is I wanted freedom, and that's all. and I talked about it so long, and I think that's great because that's how it works. Yes.
Yeah, and it's important that you find that in your music, in the way that you're making it as well. We keep coming back to this idea of freedom, so it's
Yeah,
really, I
yeah.
can tell that it's very important to you, and I think that's really good that you don't do this just because you feel
Mhm.
like you have to, or because you just want to be successful, or of course it's a good thing if that also happens on the side, but you want to
Yeah, yeah.
do music because you want to be free in your music. I think that's good.
Yay. So fun. Podcast is really fun, I think.
Yeah, I think so
So
too.
amazing. Yeah, like you're in Finland, is it right?
Yeah,
You're in
yeah.
Finland and I'm in Korea, but now we're talking about the same thing in this Rap and Tell podcast, and that's
Mm.
really cool. Yeah, we're making an album right now called Rap and Tell
Yeah.
podcast. Yes, I'm featuring. You're the
Oh
main
no.
protagonist on this.
Let's talk about the MV that you made for the intro song of your album, your latest album, Ocean of Time. You also directed
I,
at least
yeah.
one other, right, for Diana. And
Mm.
I wanted to ask you if
Yeah.
that's something that you want to do more of, because you're also studying film. So do you like making MVs for your video, for
This
your
is
songs?
like exclusive thing that I'm gonna say only on
Yeah.
this podcast because I'm
Oh,
very, very, very popular. I
yeah.
think nobody tells me like that, but I think I'm very popular, so I'm gonna say yeah. Uh, it's actually like I just filmed it when I wanted to in my bedroom. I was lying down and I thought, what can I do right now? I want to do something before I'm dead. Like my life can be end whenever, but I'm just lying down here. I'm so bad. What can I do? And I think about that and I did it. Yes, just like when I make an album, there are some songs that I want to make a video about it. There was a video that looks like very, very, very low budget video, but the views were incredible. And I saw that and I thought, okay, so I can just put my iPhone up and film that I'm lying down here. And I did it. There was the Diana music video. Just like that, just these days, the indie artists make their music videos more like humble, I think, like more like home video thing. Just
Mhm.
filmed, not filmed for music video, just filmed for themselves, for their lives, like their mom or dad, or just film them like swimming in the pool when they were a kid. They can all go into the visualizer or the music video or whatever they call. I think that's cool because I think it's all
Yeah,
about the acceptance about life that I had, about my life. I made this album. It can be fictional or non-fictional or like just in between. It is all coming from my life, that the time I had, and that all goes to the music. It's all the same. Angelo or Afterlife or like Bonzano, Popstar, Little Satanist, Ocean of Time is all the same. There are stories that are from my life or from another life or like fictional protagonists and antagonists inside my songs, but it all comes from my life. And I want to make my album's music video from my life. So I just filmed that I'm doing in my life like that time when I was making the album or when I released the album, whatever like this. So Diana music video was just me lying down on my bedroom and the ocean of time that my finest yet the track called My Finest Yet. That track's video was also just me inside my university and just freestyling my song inside the building, and that was just like that. It's just simply like that.
Yeah, that's really good.
Recording is fine, but like live speaking is
Mm.
really nervous for me. I really like making something, like making videos, making music, or even making something to post in my Instagram or whatever. Showing people about my life, and that is really cool because life is an art. Everything you touch, everything I touch, everything that we go and around, we see things, we just show somebody something every day, and that's very cool, and that what makes us to live our lives. Everything is motivation and inspiration, and I think every art that we're consuming right now comes from people's lives.
Yeah, and it's true that thinking about it, even what seems like every day to you, for me, because it's so far away, it's like, oh, this is really cool. Even if you just walk down the street, for me, your street looks so different.
If I'm an artist, I want to be an humble artist. Yes, everything comes from me is just the same, like it's from my life, projection of my life, but I want to divide it. I love my art and I love my life sometimes, but I don't want to divide them.
Because your music also comes from what you're living in the moment and how you feel, so it makes sense to not make that
Yes,
distinction between the two.
I don't know where this podcast is going, but I think I'm enjoying it. Like it's my dream come true because I always loved English cultures. Like I'm Zeppy person. Sad plus happy, Zeppy.
Yeah, happy. So let's talk about Ocean of Time, your first full-length LP. Why
Oh,
did you choose
okay.
this title?
Oh, I think it's because okay, you know that when you see the ocean, the tides are moving, and you can feel it by that you're seeing the waves, and the waves, the tides are making the waves, and you can see the waves, and that is very similar with how we feel the time, because time is always moving. Tides are moving, is always moving, and you can feel the time. You can feel it because you always have, now you have a schedule, or you have a time, you have a clock, you have something in your mind, and you think about it, and you feel like, oh, I was think about something, and the time passes, and you see the clock and time passes like that. The time that I had when I left my crew and I was alone because I wanted to. I'm not gonna say what was the real reason why I have to have a time with my life, myself, but there's something that was going in my life and I had to stop meeting people or doing anything because I can't do that. I had lots of anxiety and depression. Like I just can't concentrate myself on the thing that is going on my life, so I need the time. The time that I had in myself was very far from the time. I can't feel it. I can't feel the time. I always did something when I was in the crew or when I was making music. Like I always feel the time because I had the people, I had the things. But when I had the time, just I was like, I felt like I was in the lockdown COVID-19 we had and just made me in the place that is really, really, really far from the time. And I thought that time is about the perspective. Yes, time is about the perspective because there is a fact about the time and everybody knows about that, but everybody feels different about the time. Not everybody is going through the same thing. They really hit me very strong. Just what made me sad was that I didn't have anything in my mind when I had the time with myself. I was just empty at it and do anything. But that just come from my perspective. I finally had a time for myself to confront my illness inside my head. I always needed, but I didn't feel about it. And I finally had the time. It's just like that. That time was really bad for myself, but when I thought about that way, that time just really gives me motivation. It just changed. I just changed my perspective and it changed my mind. And just like that, I wanted my album to be like that time. I wanted to develop my album with the listeners. Like, I don't want to end the timeline inside my album. Like, okay, I finished my songs, I finished my album, and this is it. I don't want it. I wanted to progress it, to go forward like the time. The ocean was the best thing to depict my thinking. I want to make the album to represent myself as a Xein Hossler. This is the finest Xein Hossler's album, period. And I didn't like that because this is my starting point, I think, starting line. And I wanted to open my career. And I think that science that is going on with the ocean is really similar with the things that are going in my life. It's always moving, it's always like doing something, making something. So I made this album's title like that. Yes, I made the song Ocean Boulevard because I can help myself from daydreaming. Like, there's a song called NFU from Water Gap, and there's the lyrics like, I don't want to go home, but I don't want to stay here. And I think that was the feeling that I had. I don't want the real change in my life. I don't want it because I'm having my stability in this time of my life, but I always have the homesickness of somewhere else that I'm daydreaming about. That is the quiet place and the sanctuary where I want to be, but that's not my home. It can be the fantasy that I have, but I think it can be just the feeling, and I wanted to progress it into my song. So I made The Ocean Boulevard, and this is my perspective, my point of view on this song. It doesn't mean that you have to feel the same way. Just I hope that that every listener that listening to this song to feel that it's okay to feel alienated in your place in your life. It's really okay because life is strange and things gonna be changed, and there will be the time that you can accept yourself. But it's fine because I'm right here and I'm quite similar with you. And I don't know you, you don't know me, but I'm quite similar with you. And I think that's really good empathy. Is I think that's really good way to connect with the listeners as the musicians. So I made this song, and I hope that people listen to this song and think about their lives and just feel like, okay, I have some room for me to daydream, and just like that, I want something to think about.
I think you're doing that really well. And I've told you this before, but I'll say it again. And for me, your music really helps me process some of my emotions. It's really
Mm.
what drew me first to North Star, for example. The first song from you that
Wow.
I heard was Waltz in A minor. But
Mm.
the first song that I really I kept going back to was North Star, and now it's Ocean
Mm.
Boulevard because it just really helps me get into a different mind space. Like, it really helps me process some
Yeah,
emotions
yeah,
and just feel things and then come out again. So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
that's how I feel when I listen to your music.
I think it's my gift. It is the gift for myself, I think, because there are so many things that I can understand is inside me, and there's no room in my life to have a space for it. But we really need some mind space for us to think about things that we want to think, and that really makes me go through the hard times that I get. I think like that.
Because there is a change in your album. Like at some point there's a shift where it gets darker. Like you can tell that there's something there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's I was kind of surprised actually the first time that I listened to it, because I was like, is this the next Spotify recommendation? But no, that's still Xein Hossler's style. So it's still the same album, but there is clearly a shift here. There's something different.
Yeah, just are you talking about the Ocean Time track 9?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Like I
yeah,
knew it
yeah.
was you, but at the same time I was like, wow, this is so different from the rest of the album.
There were songs that were instrumental that I made, and there were songs like 3 or 4 songs after I finished this album, and there were no track 9 and track 10. Not now in now album. There were only 8 songs for this album, and
Oh.
there is no Ocean Boulevard, and there was no the track 9, the Portrait of Clear Day reprise. But I made it in my hard times because I need the representation of my hard times. I really need it to represent my artistic style. I have something in my mind, but I can't get rid of it. And why should I rid of it? I had to make those songs and put it in my album. But I didn't put it all in my album because I think this, like, just 2 songs more, and just like that 10 tracks in this album is like the best way to represent this album, this first LP. Because I don't want I want to make a turn in my album, but not like huge turn, because it can feel like it can confuse people, the listeners. Like, where is this album going? Like, why is he doing this? Why does he want like that? I don't want to make a huge confusion inside my album. And I think Ocean Boulevard must go to the last song, because this is where I am. This is where I resort. So I have to put it in my last song. And I made like 4 instrumentals or 5 instrumentals, and I was like, why should I put it in my track 9? And I thought, like, fuck it, just put it reprise of my Portrait of a Clear Day, because I think that's really that's really similar to what I felt in my hard times. Like, not going dramatically different way, like in the same way that you heard in from track 1 to track 8, but it's changing, and I wanted to show it.
Do you hope that your fans also feel that way, that they can relate to these songs, as going through something, wanting to put it out there, and then make that change but move on from it?
Actually, eventually, I will move on, and everybody will move on to their problems, because life is always going forward, because the time passes like that, and the ocean moves like that. But I don't
Eventually
want
this will
I
pass.
I don't want to say something that is sugar coated, or that is like just move on, like why just move on,
Mm.
like it's just, it's really hard to move on. It's really hard, because if it was not hard, then why people suffer? But I wanna show people that life doesn't end that way. I can show whatever things that I want for my last time that I have before I die, and that represents the position of track 10 in this album. It's time to say goodbye to the listeners of this album.
It's difficult. I mean, it's big emotions, and putting that into music, and like doing something with it is very difficult. So I completely
Just
understand. It's a hard question.
uh, uh, I really like it because I like to think. The Ocean Boulevard, the song is the emotional outburst of myself that I had in my hard times, and I think mind's internal sanctuary for people. I think I hope to be like that, but I don't want to like represent this track as like, oh, this is your mind paradise. Like, come and join me. Like, have fun. You're okay, but it's not like that. It's just like just one person who lives in South Korea has some outbursts. Every time has the sparkle in itself, even if that's the hard time. This is so hard to talk because I don't want to talk like this. My song is an answer because it's not an answer. I hate to make my art as an answer. I don't want to be that artificial persona for myself because I don't know the answer. I don't know how to be well. I don't know how to get well. I think it's a representation that everyone has their own silver lining in their hard times. Like I had hard times, but I made this mine internal fantasy poetry song, and I think it's kind of great. So I put it in my album. It's like that way. Ocean Boulevard is just like that way. And I think that they can give people hope, or as I hope, that silver lining for their hard times.
I think this is exactly why I like this song so much because it's not I'm not looking for an answer, but it really
Yeah.
helps me to feel the things and be like, okay, like I'm feeling this, whatever it is. I'm feeling it and it's happening. Let's go with that.
This is
Like you
just like I don't know the answer. Like I don't know. I don't know. I always felt alienated with myself and my community that I'm having in here. But I don't want to blame the society or whatever I have. I just want to feel the thing. I want to feel the thing that I don't know. So I felt it and I made it into this music.
I don't know what else to say because you know how like I really like this song. I really do. And it just everything you said just makes me like it even more because now it's even more relatable. Like I really understand what you're trying to say with it. So yeah, I just listen to Ocean Boulevard. Everyone.
Just feel it and have it your way, whatever you want. Just not just for me, not just for you, it's just for everyone, everything, every living thing in this Mother Earth. Yeah, it's just okay to feel anything. It's okay. Fine. Nothing's gonna hurt you because you listen to the song called Ocean Boulevard. It's gonna be fine.